Dear learners, in this lesson we will discuss series of activities to be taken up to complete procurement. These series of actions are termed as purchase procedures. Procurement procedure and the documents serve to provide the framework for supply of materials and provide the means for processing information from various departments to complete the job on hand. Let us look at the basic operating procedures that integrates the activities into a complete purchasing cycle. The general cycle of activities for purchase is standardized. The following steps make up a typical purchasing cycle and consist of the following: recognize and describe the need, stock check, prepare supplier list, request for proposal and quotations, issue purchase order, acceptance and acknowledgement of order by the supplier, follow up, receipt and inspection, invoice check and completion of order. We will look into the steps one by one. The first step, recognize and describe the need, starts or is triggered when by the firm's department or its stores section. The need is notified by either a standard purchase requisition or an material requirement planning. If the need is a one-time purchase, then an engineering bill of material is used. The requisition is an internal document and most companies use a standard format. The user generally makes minimum of 2 copies, one for the purchase department and the other for the user department file. Normally, the information in the form are the descriptions of the material, quantity and the date required, estimated unit cost and the authorized signature. Once the requisition is received, it is checked to see if the item is in stock. Today, it is easily possible to verify stocks with computer systems in place. Firms load the information and prices for the commonly used materials onto the server and user then make requisitions electronically. Programmed inventory monitoring systems automatically place orders when certain reorder points are reached. It must be ensured that the requisition made by the departments are clear, complete and appropriately described. The buyer has to check the accuracy of the content of the requisition. After the requisition is received by the buyer, the purchase department starts to look out in the market to identify potential sources of supply. In the cases of routine products for which supplier relationships are already established, the order is placed with the listed suppliers. For new or high value items, investigation of the supplier is made. If the items is highly technical or complex, a cross-functional team is formed to qualify suppliers and make team decisions about the most suited supplier. After qualifying a group of potential suppliers, the buyers may request for proposal or quotations for competitive bidding and negotiations. A comparative statement is prepared to assess all potential vendors across the required parameters. Supplier selection and placement. Once suppliers have been selected, the purchase order with details is prepared. This becomes a legal contract document with quality specifications, product specifications, quantity, price, delivery terms and payment terms, and it should be clearly stated to avoid disputes later. Most companies include terms and conditions which usually provide legal protection to the buyers on acceptance and termination of the contract. Multiple copies of purchase order are prepared for communication to internal and external stakeholders of the order. In most cases, original copy of the purchase order is sent to the supplier. No contract is complete until the order is accepted by the supplier. An acknowledgement is sent to the buyer mentioning their terms of supply. In case of conflict, in terms law omits these terms, leaving settlement of conflict to negotiations. Hence, buyers need to review suppliers' acceptance with great care. The purchase department's responsibility does not end with the order. It has to take the responsibility till materials are delivered and accepted. Important orders with critical delivery dates should receive regular follow-up attention. When the consignment is received, it is checked for various details using purchase order and the shipment slip. It is also inspected for quantity and general conditions, and a receiving report is prepared. These days, much of the clerical work is reduced using computer-based systems with barcode identification. Before some shipments are accepted, a technical inspection may be necessary. Copies of this inspection report are sent to the purchasing and accounting sessions. Simultaneous review of the purchase order, the receiving report, and the invoice is done to determine the quantity and the type of material ordered and received. It should be done soon after receiving invoices to enable prompt payments, which go a long way in maintaining good supplier relationship. Once the invoice auditing is done and payment is made, the order is closed. Thank you, learners, and an exercise for you. Pinpoint 5 procurement issues that are faced by you in your everyday life. Can any one of the strategies of procurement systems help in handling the situation better in the future? If yes, list the strategies. Thank you.